You step outside on a clear night and look up. Maybe you take a photo of the moon for your phone's lock screen. You don't think much of it. But 2,000 years ago, a single light in the sky was strange enough to make grown men cross deserts. That story has a name. You call it the Star of Bethlehem. And the real answer behind it is far stranger than a star. For centuries, you were told it was a miracle. A supernatural light placed in the sky for one night, for one purpose. Simple, comforting, the kind of explanation that asks nothing of you. But ask an astronomer what they see in that ancient description, and the story changes completely. Suddenly, you're not looking at a miracle anymore. You're looking at a record. In the year 1604, German astronomer Johannes Kepler watched something rare happen above his own head. Jupiter and Saturn, the two largest planets visible to the naked eye, drifted close enough to appear as one blazing point of light. It only happens once every 20 years, and a true close approach is rarer still. Kepler did the math backward. He found that a similar conjunction happened in 7 BC, close to when historians place the birth of Jesus. 3 times that year, the two planets crept toward each other in the constellation Pisces, separated, then drew close again. Could two planets, lining up in the dark, have looked like a single new star to ancient eyes? Kepler thought so, but a planetary conjunction doesn't explain everything in the old account. The star is described as moving ahead of travelers, then stopping directly over a specific house. Planets don't behave that way, so researchers kept looking. Centuries later, American astronomer Michael Molnar took a different approach. He studied ancient coins minted in Antioch, coins stamped with a ram standing under a star. In ancient astrology, that symbol meant something specific. The constellation Aries rising at a moment tied to kingship. Molnar ran the planetary positions through modern software and found a rare event in 6 BC when the moon passed in front of Jupiter while both sat inside Aries. To Persian or Babylonian astrologers trained to read the sky like a language, that event would have screamed one thing: a king has been born in Judea. Still others, like British astronomer Mark Kidger, argued the answer might be simpler and rarer. A nova. A star that suddenly brightens, flares for weeks, then fades back into the dark as if it had never been there. Chinese court astronomers recorded exactly that kind of object around 5 BC, a guest star visible for over 70 days. Notice what's happening here. 3 trained scientists looking at the same ancient text arrived at 3 different skies. A conjunction, an occultation, a nova. None of them agree on the object. All of them agree on something else. Something really did happen up there. The Magi weren't chasing a metaphor. They were reading a language written across the stars, a language built from centuries of careful, patient observation. That's the part you usually skip. Before telescopes, before satellites, the sky was the original textbook. People didn't need to understand modern physics to notice patterns. They just needed to watch and write it down for generations until the patterns became a kind of prophecy. So the next time you glance up and see nothing but a single dot of light in the dark, remember what that dot used to mean. Not decoration, not background noise, a message if you knew how to read it. You step outside on a clear night and look up. This time, you actually see it.